All righty, here we are. Here we are once again coming live at you. Man, my boy Keith Harris, Big Darkness, and your man Rojo. So what we're gonna do today, people, just kind of give you some more insight, man. We had a great time yesterday. We have several people write into us and gave us some things that they wanted to share with you guys. So we're going to kind of come at you a little bit. And so a lot of people was asking, what is age? How old can and cannot start? What do you think about that, Big K?
You're never too old. There's myths out there where people say, hey, you need to stop working out. You need to start lifting weights at 40, 50, 60, 70 years old. That myth is not true. It's all about your health, your fitness. And the thing is, even doctors have said this, the older you get, the more you should lift free weights and not the machines, because the free weights build the muscles around the bones and help with the bones. So
bone density. Absolutely.
Exactly. So, that's just a big myth, man. I've seen people lately, man, 60, 70, 78, 80 years old, man, working out and doing stuff. But as a group, that's what we need to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with that. I just think that for some reason, we all have a tendency to think that if I go to the gym, I'm going to hurt myself. And that's where that fear factor come into place. And that's where personal trainers come into play. I mean, personal trainers are there to hold you accountable and kind of give you some security and also serve as a GPS system. But that age thing, with all of the rehabilitation and stuff like that some people have to go through if they get certain ages, if they start just doing small stuff, I don't care if it's a 5-pound dumbbell, 10-pound dumbbell, doing something really easy, it will allow them to keep some type of muscle hypertrophy so that they can be able to get up if they fall. They can get out of a chair and all those assistance, type things that they need.
Right. And with all those excuses and myths, I'm too old. I don't want to do too much. You get all those excuses. I don't want to start at the gym. I'm intimidated. And, that's what you're talking about right there. Find your personal trainer. It's a whole bunch of information out there. It's a lot of false information out there. But as far as getting your start, do your research. Find someone that'll say, hey, you know what? These are the things you need to do to start. Stop putting it off. That's the one thing we've been doing. People are doing now. They're putting it off. So when COVID hit, all of a sudden, our age group, man, got very sedentary. We're not doing the stuff that we were doing before. So when COVID hit, man, it kind of took us out the game.
Yeah, and they're using COVID as an excuse. Like, this happened to me during COVID, and I hadn't a chance to get back in the gym. I don't want to go back in there because you never know if you're gonna get caught with COVID. Well, you know what? People are getting caught with COVID just sitting at the dinner table with someone that they invited over. So I just think
fluent.
It's kind of dying out, but that fear factor is still there. A lot of people think that if they go to the gym, they're gonna get sick. Well, you know what? If you go to the gym, the chance of you getting sick is about as great as you stay at home. So so you might as well get there and get going. I had a guy also reach out to us, man, and he says, so what makes you want to work out even more when you go every day? What makes you want to keep going? What makes you want to keep going? And he said, I need the motivation. I go, it's not about motivation. It's about discipline. If you're disciplined and you got to go do it. It's just what it is. Motivation is when you get there and you're with a bunch of people and you're working on, you firing each other up. Now you're like motivated to do more, but the discipline is what's going to get you in there. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree with you. People talk about motivation. I'm my own motivation. That's how I look at it. When you talk about motivation is what I have in my headphones. It might be CT Fletcher, one of my buddies, man. I'm giving you a shout out, CT, because I want you to come on the show. Telling me get one more rep or whatever. But like you said, it's got to be the discipline. And one of my shirts going to be coming out is going to be discipline, consistency, and focus. Those are the things you need, because you got to remember, it's going to be your lifestyle. It's not something that you're going to just do and stop doing. And people ask me why I do it. I do it to live. It's preventative measures. It's preventative measures as we get older, as we age, to prevent other things from happening. Or if we get an illness or injury, we can come back a lot faster than somebody that's not doing anything and that's aging.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that age thing can creep up on us real fast. You and I sitting here right now at age 62 and 64. You know, there's things that could have obstacles, I should say, that could have kept us from going up. But it's that mental process. It's all a mindset. And you just got to think that I can go do this. I need to do this. And it's not, everybody wants something that's tangible, something that they can just hand over and go, this is going to make you fit. Try this. Right. This is going to make you fit. And if it's something they can carry home with them, they're okay with that. They're willing to try it. But when you got to go put in the work, the tangible side comes later.
Yes,
you know.
Yes.
So that's what I always tell people, that I'm a personal trainer myself. And the bottom line is that, man, I tell everyone, you start now. The more you see changes, the more you're going to want to be here. It's not how long you need to work out and do you want to work out every day. You're going to want to be here to do something to keep that change going. So that's where that discipline comes from.
And it's also about patience too. People want that instant gratification thing. I'm going to walk in the gym. You know, they want to walk in the gym today and next week be fit and in shape and lose 20, 30, 40 pounds. Don't work that way. It don't work that way. And I kind of like want to piggyback on like injuries and stuff that we've had. I think I was 56 and I had my right shoulder totally replaced. And the doctor said if I wasn't in the shape that I was in, then it would have took me way longer. And you would never know right now that my right shoulder is totally replaced because it was part of my lifestyle, coming back, rehabbing, and doing the things that I had to do. So one of the things we might be able to talk about too, kind of run in on this, like people quit after they get injuries or after they get sick.
Mm-hmm. You know, they do. They quit because they feel as though they've come up on a roadblock and they lose that focus. They let that stop sign stay there. They don't look at it as a yield sign. They don't look at it as, okay, now how do I get up past this? They go, okay, I'm stopping, right? And as you stated, is that they want that instant gratification. And so I tell everyone, if you don't give yourself at least 90 days to make a change, you're going to only be in the gym about 2 or 3 days because it ain't going to happen that fast. You need those 90 days at least. And it takes a person at least 21 days, what they say, to break a bad habit. So, you know, you need to like, you got to get going at it at some point. And then, so you got to take those 21 days before you even start thinking about the 90 days of the 3 months of you really starting to see change. And it's all time and it's process and it's patience. And, you know, it's one of those internal things that you got to believe that at some point I was in really good shape. Now I'm not in good shape. And I'm making more excuses than I ever made in my life about my health, not feeling good. I'm tired. I work too much. Oh my God, I got 5 kids and I can't get to the gym. Well, you know what? You got 5 kids. At some point, all of you guys can work out in the living room together. Do something to kind of keep it going, you know?
And be the example for them. So you set that standard for them. My kids are 33, 31, and they work out. That was their part of their lifestyle because it was my lifestyle. So they continued on that path, which, you know, when people used to see me in the gym with my kids, they're like, hey, I want to do that because your kids, they want to be here. They want to do the stuff that you're doing. So instill that in your kids. I had a buddy that's a trainer, and he said he went into 7-Eleven to get something, and one of the ladies that he was training, or one of the guys he was training, was in the store. They eat well and everything, but they were in 7-Eleven buying their kids a whole bunch of junk food.
Yeah, it's that pacify. I just want them to happen so I can be okay, right? And so it's I used to train dogs in law enforcement. I was a K-9 deputy.
Okay.
And so, you know what I'm saying? So it's like everything runs down leash. So if you're panicking, your dog's going to panic. If you're not doing the right things, your dog's going to kind of follow on. And I always lead that to anything that I'm doing right now. It all runs down leash. And if you're doing it, whomever's with you, whether your partner, your kids, or whomever it may be, your friends, if they see it's all positive, they want to be in that positive realm. And then that's how you take your fitness into it too. And speaking of that, having that teamwork is that gotta get a friend. Get a friend who want to train with you. Get a friend who wants to go and say, let's create this journey together. You know, it doesn't have to be someone in your household. It could just be someone who you know and go, you want to go get in shape, let's go do it together. And then you feel more comfortable in general.
Okay, Big Rob, I got something for you. What do you think? Okay, now I'm coming to you. Say I'm 45 years old and I want to get back into it and I'm ready to go. So what expectations or how am I going to get started?
Well, first I would tell that person that, number one, I'm glad you're here. And the way you're going to get started in general is that we're going to go one day at a time. We're not going to try to come in here and do a bunch of weight that your body hadn't been used to. And it's all going to start with you coming in here with holding accountability. I'm going to be your partner. And you get someone who's going to work with you slowly and you get started. Now, to be more direct on how do they get started, first they need to look into what they want. Or do they need a body change? Do they want to lose weight? Do they want to put on muscle? All those things come into play when you say, I want to get started. If a person has come and said, how do I get started? Their mindset is ready. They're ready to go do something. They're asking someone to help them out. How do I get started? So now that question now becomes my issue. How can I fix this for this person? And you bring them in. So I always think it's great when someone says, how do I get started? Instead of me going, you should get started.
Right.
Because it can become kind of a defensive thing, right? And it's just time. You know, I think that people listen to stuff that you and I are talking about on this cast, and I think they will start to understand that it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what your past experiences is. You can always make a change, and the change starts day one. You know, I think The Rock or someone stated about first day is the day. You know what I mean? Is that kind of statement.
Right.
So
exactly.
Once you get going, you realize that, oh, I got past my soreness. And now I'm not afraid anymore. I have someone to go and report to and make it all happen. You know, it's like going to a new job.
Right.
First day is the first day you start.
Exactly.
You know?
And I tell people, you know, piggyback off what you're saying. I tell people, hey, because when you first start, the people think they're going to come in and maybe even get 30 to 45 minutes of working out. I'm like, no, your body's not ready for that. You know, I gradually bring them in because I want to see where they are. You know, you're kind of interviewing them while you're doing the process because you want to see exactly what they can do, what they can't do. Then you know what you can bring to the table with them. And I always tell them, I said, hey, just because you did 5 minutes today, get better. All you got to do is be better tomorrow. Just hey, if it's 1 second better, then then you achieved something. You got better. And that was my main thing that I usually tell people. I say, hey, we're just gonna be better tomorrow. I said, you're gonna look back in 6 weeks and you're gonna be laughing at where you started from to where you are today. And I said, you just gotta be patient with the process, you know.
It's that compound effect. Little bit. Next thing you know, you got a large room, right? So the compound effect is just how it all should happen, and it's just that time process, and that is the biggest thing. So, far as cardio and stuff like that, are you the kind of person who believe in a lot of walking, a lot of running, a lot of mixture, high intensity? What are the things? Some of the things that you like?
Mine it depends on what the person's background has been. Depends on what the person can do now. I usually start with walking. Like I said, once I kind of evaluate you and see where you are. I've had people start on the Stairmaster and they can only do 5 minutes their first day. So what we do is I say, hey, you know what? So by the end of the week, you're gonna do 7 minutes. You know, we start gradually slow. I have people walking. I mix it up myself. You know, like I said last night, you know, I'll go to the track. I'll walk, run stadiums. When the weather's nice, I'm out trying to get 10,000 or 15,000 steps. But it basically the individual, what can they do? You get somebody that can't really move well at first. You got to gradually get them into something where their heart is not overworking, you know.
Absolutely. I myself, I believe in constant steady state cardio. and it's just a walk, a gradual walk. You can increase your speed as you see fit. But I think something steady state, especially people coming from that 40 plus years older, just steady state, because they're clearly not a runner, because they wouldn't be asking about training. They clearly, you and I both know that Stairmaster is like top notch push. So we're not sure what their heart rate is going to get up to in the time. And the old steady state thing for me is like, you know what, get on the treadmill, put it on like a 3.0 incline, and whatever your normal pace is, put it on that speed, and then you stay on it. And as soon as you feel as though you need to hold on to the rails, then leave the speed the same, raise the incline a little bit so you can keep your heart rate up. Because if not, as soon as you grab hold of the rails, everything goes down and they stop and burn up the calories.
Right.
And when you look back in the day, at least for me, from a bodybuilding realm of thing, we try to do enough to burn excess calories, because you're not really burning fat while you're doing cardio.
Exactly.
Right? You're burning calories.
And people think that too.
They burning fat, right? And so you're not. You're burning calories to put your body in that deficit. And when your body is in that deficit, it then will allow your body to recognize another source of energy, which is normally our fats. So just that high intensity cardio, you know, I see a lot of people do that, and I try to understand it, but I realize that if I can walk for 30 minutes and get the same burn that they got in the 10 minutes, I'd rather do that, because it's something that I can do for a long time. Most people who are starting out, they don't have the mental status to go, I'm going to do this HIIT training every day I come in here. It's difficult.
Man, you're hitting it right on the head. I had this guy, I had branched off, said, I want to try. I got a personal trainer, and I said, you know, I just want to try something different, you know. And it was like, you got to be high intensity on your Stairmaster or your bike or whatever. I'm like, you know, you remember, the rabbit did not beat the turtle.
That's right.
That's what I tell. Hey, the rabbit did not beat the turtle. So
it is not.
It's all about being here down the road, and people, you got to explain that to people sometimes. And then when you do that, you know, especially at our age, and that's what we're gearing to. Hey, you know what? We're not gonna say, hey, we're gonna do this all in 30 minutes, and you're gonna be great. We're gonna say, hey, we're gonna take our time. We're gonna get there, because once you implement this on a daily basis, your mindset changes. Everything changes that way, because if you try to do it quick, there's no quick fix. Remember, we've always said that if it's a quick fix, then everybody be doing it. Everybody be healthy. Everybody, you know, it takes a certain person. It takes your mentality. It's just when an addict, just like an addict, you say, hey, I'm done. I hit rock bottom. That's when people are ready, and that's when people are ready. They need to understand, and they do understand. Hey, it's not going to be a process that's going to happen overnight. This is a lifelong process for us, especially at our age, and to get to our age.
It's true. I'm sure you agree with this, is that there's no makeup days. You know, you can't make up for missing it. You just got to keep on going and realize that's another day you can add at the end of your journey, and you keep going. So it's just place it at the end. So if you got 365 and you're now at 362 and you miss one, now you're back at 363. So you just got to keep going, man. It's very important. So on the food intake, so you know, there's a lot of people out there all thinking about these quick diets, these quick pills, these shots that they're getting, and all these things.
Yeah, that's the new thing.
Yeah, you know, and so these people who are trying to get these crazy results like right now. But when you get the crazy result right now, you know it's going to be a crazy rebound right now. Right. So the rebound behind it is worse than going through the process of doing the work to get there. Right. And so I just hope that a lot of people they didn't hear anything we said, that they understand how the slow process is the best way. Exactly. Even though you don't want to be just dragging your feet, but you want to be in a maintenance state to where you can keep going. Because if there's no maintenance state, you're just going to break down and then call it quits. That's what's going to happen.
And that's perfect what you said, the maintenance stage. You know, and that's getting into just your meals as far as a lifestyle. And you're gonna hear me say that over and over, because that's what this becomes, your lifestyle. And people think I need a quick fix diet. I got to do this real quick, and if I start eating this, get low calories, low carbs, then next month I don't have to do it no more. You know
Yeah,
what you need to
that's
do, and you can talk about that, Rob.
yeah,
About
that's what you call that massive upfront deficit. People think that, oh my God, man, I'm going to go on this crazy diet. I'm just going to cut all this stuff out. I'm going to cut all this stuff out. Well, listen to this, people. I'm going to share something with you just because I do have a nutritional background. Is that when you drop your carbs from your meal plan, the first 10 pounds at least that you drop is just water weight. You're dehydrating yourself from your water weight. So please don't take your carbs out of your diet. Don't take your carbs out of your diet, because when you take your carbs away, now your energy source got to suck. Now, there is a time for that. If you got some crazy thing that you need to like drop weight so you can put on your prom dress or put on your wedding suit or whatever it may be, then yeah, go for that. But realize that as soon as you start back eating, that's going to come back. That's not like fat loss, that's water loss. So I just try to tell people is that you cannot just jump into a crazy diet and think that this is how it's going to be. It goes right back to the HIIT training. It's too difficult to do that. You're not going to change. So I think changing your meals, say you have 4 meals a day and you had 2 bad meals, now have 1 bad meal a day and still have 5 good meals.
Exactly,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
And then just slowly make the change. Don't try to go so fast.
Okay, now here's my other thing.
Yeah.
Now I've been doing well on my meal plan. I'm coming to you every day with my workouts. I want a cheat meal. So with that.
Yeah. So cheat meal is just that. It's a cheat meal that's going to throw you off. That's all it is. It's a cheat meal that's going to throw you off. Now, there's a pro and con behind the fact why trainers say have a cheat meal. Most trainers will say have a cheat meal because when you go, you know that when they go do it, they're going to feel like crap. They're going to have all that higher energy, and then it's just going to drop. And they're going to go, oh, I don't want to do that anymore. I felt terrible. Because if they've been eating really clean and you go and have that meal, it's going to really screw you up, right? Now, you know about this, and I know about this because of our background is that there's this thing called leptin levels. And your leptin levels, basically what they do, they determine your fat loss and all that stuff. Women has more leptin levels than men. So the bottom line is that when people say that they went on a really strong diet and then they said they carved up over the weekend, they did all these things to raise their energy source to make the body recognize, oh no, I need to burn. So basically what they're trying to do is actually trick the body in thinking that it's getting ready to get a refeed, right? So a refeed compared to a cheat meal is 2 different things, if I'm making sense to you, right?
Exactly.
So a refeed is taking some good carbohydrates, some good fats in your system and eating that. A cheat meal is saying, I'm going to go to a Burger Hut or I'm going to go to Pizza Hut and I'm going to eat all this stuff and I'm going to feel great. No, even as a bodybuilder, when you're done with the show, you have a tendency to crave this stuff, but you don't eat it because it just makes you feel like crap at the end, right?
You're not feeling it.
No, and so it goes back to what you've been saying the whole time. It's a lifestyle, right? Only thing changes for a bodybuilder than the person who's not bodybuilding is that food calories start to cut back closer they get to the show, and then they eat back into the show. We don't think about all of the other stuff where, oh, I can't wait to go get this burger on my 4th day. I can't wait to have this cheat meal over the weekend. I'm going to party. I'm going to eat up because it's just to throw you off, right?
It defeats the purpose. It comes back. Because some people go from the cheat meal to a cheat day to a cheat weekend.
Absolutely. And then you can't, it's like you said, an addict. You start craving it and, and your body wants it. So I tell everyone, understand the difference between refeed and a cheat meal. A refeed is healthy and you cannot go. If not, it'll just throw you completely off. And like I said, that I would prefer that someone who's starting out to don't try to go cold turkey, to make sure that they're more of, the frequency of their meals is set. 3 meals, 6 meals, or whatever they decide. I always say 3 hours after you get up, you should start eating, and let you every 2.5, 3 hours try to eat again, unless your work schedule don't allow it or your work location don't allow it. Then take a protein shake or something with you where you got it in a shaker, because we got to drink water at some point in the day, no matter where your job is, and you just drink in a protein shake. And then that way you're still getting good stuff into your system. But just remember that what we call PFCs, protein, fats, and carbs, that's necessary for the body to function. And the cardio is where you burn the excess calories to take yourself into a deficit. But speaking of calories in deficit, I'm gonna hit on this and let you talk about it. The InBody scan is probably one of the main tools that if you have a trainer and he's not taking you to an InBody scan, he cannot make you a meal plan. If he has not put you on an InBody scan and say, let's see what your BMR is, that's your basic metabolic rate, that's how many calories you utilize per day during the day's period, no matter what's going on in your life. It's a maintenance calorie count. It's not for you to grow or lose, it's a maintenance. So if you're trying to lose weight, you need to go minus 25% of that number. And if you're trying to gain weight, you go to opposite. So and then you have the right numbers of how many calories you should be eating per day to create this lifestyle that you're talking about there.
And that's the first thing when people, before I even start, I say, hey, the first thing I need from you, I don't need no pictures, anything yet. You need to go give me that BMI. I need you to go get it. And once you get that, then we can sit down. I can see where you're at. I can see where your body fat levels are. I can see where what your skeleton, how much water you've been intaking, all the things that are necessary for me to create a meal plan and a diet program for you is on there. And I don't think a lot of people do. I mean, a lot of good trainers do, but a lot of people just do the online stuff. They'll get you, paste a copy and say, okay, they've never even did that with anybody. And the first thing they want to do is give them a diet plan.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
And I'm like,
absolutely.
Everybody's diet is going to be different.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, there's no cookie cutter diet because some people may be allergic to stuff that they can't have that you're giving everybody else. What I will tell people all the time is this. I go, you know what? There's 5 sources of food that you can eat to say I'm eating a healthy lifestyle. So if you're looking for a meal plan that's going to give you all these different choices that you got to go shop every weekend and get all these different foods that you're not going to keep up with anyways, we're going to give you 5 basic meals and you're going to stick to those meals. I joke about it. I said, if you have an animal, I think you feed that animal the same thing every day. Right? It stays healthy, right?
That's right.
So if you can do it to your animal, you sure can do it to yourself in a way of saying, I'm eating the right foods to serve as my energy source, not for my taste buds. You know what I mean? So when they want the good stuff for the taste buds, it takes them above the rim on their calorie count, takes them above the rim because they start putting all the additives to give that good taste. But you know, you just got to know how to do it. You got to know what type of additives you can put, you know, low sodium stuff and different things that make your body respond.
So, you know, like we done went over all this and everything. So now, should I set goals? You know, like I said, I'm 50, 45, 55. Give me some things like what do you do?
So setting goals, I always say goals should be something that you can reach. Don't have this crazy number and this serious vision of where you're going to be in 6 months. So I tell all of my clients, I weigh my clients every 3 weeks. I give them a chance to lose 3 pounds or something like that. I said, so my goal is that every time we check in, we want to make sure we lost at least 3 pounds. If we hadn't lost 3 pounds, then we're going to go back and sit and kind of just verbally, you know, just sit here and talk about like what days that you have bad last week. What caused this no weight loss? No, nothing. Did you not do cardio?
Exactly.
Did you have a party and a wedding you had to go to that you couldn't say no to the cake? You know, all those things, right? And so I just think that on an average, a person can easily lose that first diet plan, the first meal plan, I should say, they can easily lose 10 pounds.
Right.
And the reason behind that is that it's a shock to the system. The body is running on less intake and using the stuff that they're already got in their system, cleaning their system out, doing all those things and bringing in the good gas. Good gas burn a lot easier than bad gas.
Bad gas.
And you know, and so once they start dropping the weight, it happens really fast. It's like, that's why they say your first 90 days of transformation is your biggest transformation, because the leaner you get, the harder it is to lose weight. And now the whole goal is trying to maintain muscle. And in order for you to maintain muscle, and this is something for the men out there for sure, hey guys, that when you're trying to maintain muscle and someone is putting you on any type of meal plan, just make sure that your protein is the same as your body weight. Because your body weight is that's what your protein intake is. And the reasoning behind that, that's your muscle builder. That's your muscle builder. Everything else is going to be a deficit. You know, you're gonna not eat as many carbs. You're gonna eat more vegetables. You're gonna eat something that's more of a complex thing that's gonna allow you to burn it off right quick so you can utilize it. But if you go into something brown, like, you know, some type of grain or something, that's going to serve more as a roughage than it is as a carbohydrate. And so now you just got to make sure that you're on point with that. But the most important thing is that no matter what, you want to be eating whatever your weight is. And also, if you're to kind of contradict that, if you're kind of, you could say if obese, someone who's really big, then you want to, say you weigh 300 pounds, you don't want to have 300 grams of protein, because you want your body to really start to break.
Right. You want to start breaking them down, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So go like 240 or something, just something lower, so your body won't be used to that same thing that's keeping you obese.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. And the goal setting thing that you mentioned, bro, the goal setting is something that will just allow you to be fighting for. You know what I mean? If someone came to you and I right now and go, okay, guys, we're gonna go run 100 miles, and you know, I need you to be ready for that. We're going to go, holy shit, I need to set a goal that I can run 2 miles first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real.
Let me run 2.
And that's what I do with my clients as well, man. I break it down in small steps. I do mine's a weekly, because I have a weekly check-in. I usually do them on Fridays. And it's just basically is this being better than you were last week, and we go from there. Because when I start, especially if it's somebody that hasn't at all been working out at all, I like checking in with them, because you know how people get. They're like, okay, he's not thinking about me, he's not checking in. Plus, it gives them more of an outlet to see, hey, I can tell you, just like you said, I sit down and say, hey, what's going on? Why did we gain weight and we didn't lose weight? You know,
sure.
And I give them like mine is at the end of the month. At the end of the month, you should have lost the 3 to 4 pounds and stuff like that. So we're basically on the same page with that. And setting goals. And the thing is, you hit it on the head. You said that 90-day window. Once people see that, man, I've had people look fantastic. Everybody's like, oh, what are you doing? You know, and then all of a sudden the mental aspect changes. You know, the mental aspect changes, because it's like, oh, now my weight's not dropping as fast. I'm not doing that. I'm not looking like I was, because I'm not dropping 5 to 6 pounds every 2 weeks. And so what do you do to combat that?
Yeah. So it's what I tried to tell them at that point in time. I go, look, let's be more accountable to one another. When you come into the gym, I'm going to give you 100%. So I know this side of the street's going to be clean for you to come into. Now, I need you to make it okay for me and safe to come to your side of the street, knowing that you're doing everything out there, because everything you're doing represents me. Everything I'm doing in here represents you, because they can't see me, right? And I said, so let's make sure that both of us are okay with coming in each other's world. In other words, I don't want you to say I'm your trainer and you're not doing the right things on the outside, and you don't want to say that, you know, I'm your trainer if I'm not telling you how to lift weights properly, and you're going home with an injury all the time and your back hurt, and why is your knees hurting? You don't want to say, oh, this guy's really helping me. You say, this guy's hurting me. So now we're going to partner up here, and we're going to make this work together. And so that relationship, man, is built. Also, guys, if you're looking for a trainer, your relationship has to be built to where you can communicate and share everything, the bad, the good, the ugly, all of it, so that you can let them know how you're feeling at all times. If you're afraid to tell your trainer something, or your trainer afraid to tell you, hey, look, you're not cutting the mustard, something's happening, we need to figure it out together, then, you know, they just there to kind of count the dollars that you're giving them.
Right. If you don't have a trainer or coach that's telling you, hey, when you're not doing well, if they're always doing this with you, hey, you need to start looking for somebody else.
Yeah. And stay away from the trainers who stand around on their damn phones. There's trainers who sitting around like this while the client is doing stuff. It's like, what if the weight fell on them? How are you going to assist that? So just you will know if you got the right trainer through your interview. Make sure you do an interview with them. But as soon as you start training with them, you'll know if they got their full attention.
And
yeah.
And to add to that also, and I hope I'm not stepping on anybody's toes, but I probably am. If your trainer doesn't work out, that might be a red flag.
Yeah, come on now. You don't want to go see a doctor who smokes and he tell you not to smoke. Right?
might be a red flag, but I see people like that all the time. I'm like, you know, think about it. You know,
I agree.
Just throwing it out there.
I agree. So I guess we can kind of, I want to share with people, there's a lot of stuff going around about drinking diet sodas and all that stuff and how it's going to affect your diet plan. None of that stuff is going to affect you. Chewing gum, all that crap, none of that's going to affect your plan. You know, I mean, of course, you want to take in more positive fluids than just drinking diet sodas for your source of fluids, but they're not going to cause you to like stop your weight loss and all of that stuff. But just take everything in moderation, and even in moderation with your foods, make sure you take it in moderations. Just also realize that when you first start training, you're going to be sore. Those soreness is going to go away. If you don't get sore, that means that you're not doing enough, not like a bad sore, but just the muscles are tearing fibers as you train. And so you're going to have to rebuild, and you rebuild by the protein that Michael and I was just talking about, is that the protein is a necessary thing to rebuild your muscle tissue. We all know that, right? So make sure that you definitely fight past the soreness. If you're too sore, tell your trainer why, and then he'll loosen up on some things and give you a better opportunity to move forward. But, you know, expect those things. And your trainer should be able to share those things with you before you even leave the gym. Like, hey, you know what? You're going to be a little sore tomorrow, but that's normal. We didn't hurt anything. This is normal. And then you can realize that you got someone who's got your back. I'm going to let you close this out, Mike. You can let them know what's going on. Yeah.
Just want to reiterate, hey, we will accept any questions because we're ready to hit any topics, and we'll hit them, like we said, head on. We won't hold back. We won't hold back on anything we've done, we've said, or whatever, what we believe in, or how things should be done. We want to be here to encourage and help you be better as we age. If you have any questions for Big Rob, you can hit him at 60_fit club. And then you can hit me on DM me on at Big Darkness 59 on Instagram. Always willing to answer questions, and we would love to have questions, more questions for the show. We want people to participate. We want to hear, if you've done anything or you've changed your mind since you've watched the podcast. With that being said, you know, we're here because we want to be here for everybody. We're not here looking for handouts. We're not here trying to sell anything. What we're trying to do is give information, because we got two men that are 62 and 64 and live a fitness lifestyle and pretty healthy, and we want to share that with you so you can be the same as us, you know. So we want to give that to you, and with that, man, that's about it for us tonight.
All right, well, we're going to close out, people. 60 Fit Club, man. 40+ men on above. You guys spread this to all your friends and come on here and give us some questions. We got a bunch of stuff last week, so hopefully we'll get some more. And you guys keep feeding us with what you need to know. And if we don't know the answer, we'll find the answer. That's the only way how we can do that.
Do it.
We'll definitely be here. And if for any reason we're not here, we'll have something on board so that you can see what we needed to talk about. That's for sure. All right. Peace out.
Deuces.